All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And this time we're back with another TierZoo video. And this one's going to be interesting because this one's a jellyfish tier list. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I didn't even know there were like different types of jellyfish for real. Like, I'm sorry to break the fourth wall here. I know you guys think I'm like the smartest guy, like a super genius. And, you know, I've established that very much on this channel. But just to break the fourth wall with you guys a little bit, I don't actually know everything about everything. There are some things that I don't know about. Now, not many, but jellyfish do fit within that category. So we're going to go ahead and learn about jellyfish today, as well as tier them. If you guys have your own tiers, feel free to comment them down below. Maybe I'll make a tier of my own. Maybe I'll start tiering them up as I go along as well. But I'm going to be honest, TierZoo's a pro at this, so I believe in him. And if you guys believe in me, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. You also subscribe. That's a really cool thing. You know, like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me all the stuff you love about me. I love hearing that. Also, if you're for some reason haven't subscribed to TierZoo, make sure you check him out. It makes incredible content. If you love video games, animals, learning, education, just all the categories, he covers them. So make sure you subscribe to TierZoo. Link will be in the description below. So with that being said, I just have to mention this one last thing. That is that if you guys don't like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, subscribe. YouTube will come through that door right over there, and they will. The jellyfish tier list. Go, jellyfish. You gotta love TierZoo. You know, the video game aspect of it. Oh, also, I don't know why I didn't explain this before. If this is your first TierZoo video, obviously he explains the animal world as if it were a video game. And who's to say it's not? I don't know. I didn't make the place.
This game has seen no shortage of balance patches. And like any other game, after a while, some players have started complaining about power creep. Being able to breathe on dry land used to be an incredibly unique and powerful perk, but now it's basically par for the course with around half of the player base. Being able to see and respond to the actions of other players used to be an incredible advantage, one that literally invalidated a huge number of popular playstyles. The same could be said about warm-blooded respiration, pair bonding and offspring rearing, eusociality, and even flight. And yet, even after an uncountable number of game updates, balance patches, and expansion packs, one of the most consistent builds in the meta is the Jellyfish.
Hey, if you got a good thing, you don't change it. You know, the Jellyfish meta apparently is a lot more vast than I even expected it to be. So shout outs to them. I mean, I didn't know they came in different varieties. This is like if you like Elden Ring players, for example, when you find out somebody has like, oh yeah, it's like a Dex Magic build, but it's different than your Dex Magic build, or you know, they have like, it's like a variation on these like different builds. Oh, I have a Dex Faith build, I have a Dex Strength build, I have a, you know, all around base build, you know, it's a all, you know, what do they call that? You guys know the answer, nerds.
A collection of ancient builds which usually have a grand total of 0 of the aforementioned abilities. Today we're going to discuss why the Jellyfish, as well as other Nadarian and Jelly-like builds, have been able to stand the test of time. We'll talk about the most notable members of the faction, and place them all on the Jellyfish tier list.
I would genuinely be surprised if there are actually more than like 5 jellyfish types. My mind is blown. What is this thing I'm even looking at right now? What are these tentacles? What is this? Are those look like spikes or something? That's insane.
But first, an overview of the history of the jellyfish build, plus
This
a
gotta
quick
be the
rundown
best
of the
one.
typical stats and abilities they tend to have. Jellyfish
Guys, this has gotta be the best one. Look at this thing. Like if I'm another jellyfish, I'm backing away. Like, yo, what's going on here? I don't even know if wait, I don't even think they have brains. But I'm still like, yo, what's going on here? These are my tendricles and stuff that I'm waving up. Like, whoa. I'm probably like poisoning people around me because of what I'm doing.
build, plus a quick rundown of the typical stats and abilities they tend to have. Jellyfish have some of the strangest stat spreads in the entire game. The most obvious quirk is that their intelligence and perception stats are basically zero.
This looks super dangerous. Like, isn't he in danger of getting hurt by the jellyfish? Or is he like immune to it? Are those like long boots? Because it looks like he's just, rocking it with no shoes. So maybe these are like the not dangerous jellyfish. Or maybe because he's currently stabbing them, that they're no longer active jellyfish. So I don't know.
Zero. Jellyfish have no central nervous system, and so essentially all intelligence and perception-based abilities are completely locked on their skill tree. The lack of a brain means jellyfish have to play mostly on autopilot and rely on pre-programmed reflexes and instincts to steer them away from danger and towards food.
Well, what does the reflexes do for that one right there? That's like, that would be a challenge for a creature that did have a brain, that, if you didn't fully understand what was happening to you. I'm sure most fish with brains would also fall victim to that trap. And whoever did that, come on, guy. Like, I know you're just a guy making things in the air, but come on, bro. What'd you have to do that to the jellyfish for? What did he do to you, bro? Come on.
But those aren't their only extremely weird
Help
stats.
him. Save
Jellyfish
him.
possess some incredible regenerative abilities and can recover from basically any damage.
Oh,
which is
wow.
good because jellyfish have next to no defense at all. They're comprised of around 95% water, and their outer layer is a simple jelly-like substance that offers...
Why do they keep doing this to jellyfish? What is happening right now? Am I becoming a jellyfish advocate right now? Like, do y'all see this? They are like messing up these jellyfish. These jellyfish have no clue what's happening right now. They don't comprehend that this is all fun and games. Do they play like this? I don't even...
Very little protection. Luckily, because of the fact they're almost entirely composed of water, they blend in quite well with the water. Many of them are nearly invisible, and all are translucent to some extent, which makes them extremely difficult to detect.
It's hard to even tell what direction he's going. Is he coming or going? Is he going up or down? It's hard to tell. All the open ocean there, it's hard to tell scale in the open ocean. If you guys don't know that, yeah, it's hard to tell scale in an open ocean. I don't know how big this thing is. There's nothing around it that I really can measure. I don't know what these little bits are. Those could be smaller fish creature, sea creature things, or they could just be specks of, debris and stuff. I don't know. How big are they? How big is this thing? You tell me.
Detect via eyesight. What most players know about jellyfish, though, is how absolutely cracked their damage stat is.
Wait, I have heard of
Jellyfish's
this
special ability, Nematocyst, allows for massive venom damage upon even the slightest contact with their tentacles.
Oh, wow.
This isn't universal, as some jellyfish possess far more potent venom than others, a topic we'll cover extensively during the tier list portion of this video. But nonetheless, most competent players fear getting too close to any jellyfish because...
Is that Steve-O? Of course that's Steve-O. Of course
their deadly reputation. Their stat spread may seem completely nonsensical until you realize what the meta was like when the jellyfish was first added to the game. I've covered quote-unquote ancient builds before on this channel, builds like the shark, scorpion, and centipede, but jellyfish vastly predate all of them.
Oh wow. Yo, jellyfish might be the goats for real. If in 500 million years, if you don't need to fully like spec out of what you're doing a good job. Like that's, like it's like maintaining your position at work for 500 million years. It seems impossible, realistically for most people. That would be impossible to work at the same place for 500 million years. But you know what? If you subscribe, I will believe in you. You might be the first one to do it. You just really got to try. Be like the jellyfish. if you're out there. See, these are all pretty cool animals too, except that centipede. I'm not the biggest fans of those things personally. I'm not really the biggest fan of scorpions either, or sharks for the most part. Like, I mean, not really jellyfish either. But these are all cool looking animals is what I was really trying to get to.
Jellyfish were one of the first, if not the first, major faction of multicellular builds.
Okay.
And so they had very little need for defenses and intelligence when there was very little to defend yourself from or to outsmart. Drifting along, filter feeding on plankton worked just fine. Some might argue it still does. Even though cephalopods, fish, and arthropods were added to the game soon after, jellyfish remained extremely popular. So after 500 million years of balance patches and game updates, let's see which jellyfish builds come out on top.
Let's see.
At the bottom of the tier list, we've got the moon jelly, one of the most common jellyfish builds in the game.
This looks
and yet
beautiful.
one that doesn't really make use of the jellyfish build's more interesting ability.
But look at it though; it looks so pretty. Is these the ones people have in like their little fish tanks and stuff? Because I see why, honestly.
Moon jellies have uniquely short tentacles, which deal fairly minimal damage. This makes them much less of a threat than basically all other jellies. In addition to that, moon jellies are notably more nutritious than other
I didn't even notice there was a jellyfish there.
jellyfish,
Oh my
making them
gosh.
common targets for any player that's able to survive their fairly minimal defenses. In fact, moon jellyfish are one of the only jellyfish which are actively preyed upon by other jellyfish, even when fully grown. The moon jelly's playstyle is entirely passive, relying on its quick respawn rate and strong matchup against plankton to make it worthwhile. Moon
Okay.
jellies are becoming a popular choice in the recent meta as they have a natural resistance to microplastic poisoning, negating one of the main challenges other marine players have had to learn to adapt to recently. So it is a solid starter build for players trying to learn the ocean meta, but one that I think most competent players will quickly move on from.
Nah, I couldn't be me.
Ne-
Guys, what jellyfish would you guys be if you were in the, obviously we're playing the game here. So what type of jellyfish would you guys be? And don't just go for the top tier list one, go for the one that really connects with you the most, you really you can't just be like, oh, I want to go for the S tier one. No, if you are an S tier one, then maybe. Yeah, but it really got a call to you. So let me know in the comments.
Next in F tier we have the comb jelly. Comb jellies are some of the most unique jellyfish builds in the game.
Okay.
In fact, even calling them jellyfish is contentious as they are technically not part of the Nidarian faction. Nonetheless, they are gelatinous and have most of the same abilities as jellyfish, so I wanted to include them anyway. Their main difference
So they're like deep sea, because look at the coloring, and then they're all like translucent, but look at the coloring that he's doing right there. It really feels like he might be a deep sea animal.
is that comb jellies do not move by pulsing their bell, and instead swim by using rows of cilia. This offers a slightly greater degree of agility and control compared to your standard jellyfish build. Their tentacles are also slightly different, being lined with adhesive glue rather than venomous microbar.
Guys, this one might call to me. I feel like this one might be the one for me. I'm really loving this one already. I gotta see the rest of the tier list, but so far, I really mess with this one. This one might actually be. It might be my favorite so far. I'll let you know if anything else comes up, but so far this is my favorite one.
Barbs. This is quite efficient at capturing small prey, but is completely useless on defense. And because they still do not possess an advanced nervous system, the fact that they have greater control over their movement via their cilia doesn't amount to that big of an advantage in practice. They still can't dodge predator attacks because they cannot dodge an attack that they don't know is coming. This build has a lot of potential if they can just put a few more points into intelligence. But for now, I'm still going to place them in F tier.
Gotcha.
At the bottom of D tier, we have the sea nettle. The sea nettle is essentially the most basic, average jellyfish build in the game. It embodies every feature of the archetype, yet excels at none of them and doesn't really have any additional unique abilities.
This
The
is
sea
literally
nettle
what I
has
think
decent
about
length
when I think
tentacles
about
that
a
can inflict
jellyfish.
solid damage, potentially lethal to builds within its own weight class, but still not strong enough to really merit the extreme caution the reputation has impressed on the player base. With low-medium size and the same nearly non-existent nervous system, sea nettles may be more well-defended than the moon jelly, but with even the slightest bit of clever counterplay, they still fall apart immediately.
See, they look intimidating though. Like if you don't know what they are, and you're just kind of like in the sea, you're like, oh whoa, what is that thing? What's all those little bubbly things on its spikes and then there's tendrils and stuff. Like, I don't know if I want to mess with that. Now, obviously, if you're a sea turtle, this is like, yo, psh, free. This is like buffet for you. But, you know, if you're not a sea turtle, then most other things you're going to be a little bit more cautious about this.
Next, in D tier, we have the coral. You might be surprised to see coral on the jellyfish tier list.
How does this count?
And indeed, I am stretching the definition a little bit, but they are a part of the Cnidarian faction, and are less different once you look more closely. Their early game is pretty much identical to the jellyfish, but rather than remaining free-floating, they settle onto rocks and surfaces along the seabed and attach to a single point, dropping their mobility stat to 0 for the remainder of their playthrough. To compensate, corals then activate their signature ability, Calcify, constructing an incredibly sturdy exoskeleton around themselves, and massively buffing their defense stat in the process. As this exoskeleton grows, the coral will also clone itself, eventually granting the player control over an entire colony of coral, all to accomplish one thing: AFK experience farming. Once established, the hard part of their playthrough is over, and they can now filter feed for essentially as long as they like. So an easy build to play if you can make it past their vulnerable planktonic early game, although unfortunately the climate change balance patch seems to be a pretty harsh nerf to this playstyle.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, shout outs to the coral. Save the coral, save the reefs, everybody. We need to be creating more coral reefs. They're really good for the ocean, you know. Think of them like trees. I don't know if they do the same. They're clearly not like fully trees, but they're good for them. Just do it anyway. How about that? You know, I'm no tree expert. I didn't invent trees or coral. I just made the analogy without fully knowing if it's even a good one to make. Just know that coral is good and we should have more of it. You know, how about that? We can all agree on that one, right? There we go.
And at the top of D tier, we have the other colonial Cnidarian, the Man-O-War. This build sports medium damage, much higher than the moon jelly or sea nettle, but still not the instant death level venom that some of the higher tier jellyfish have. Like other jellyfish, it has low mobility and terrible defenses. But I would say that the Man-O-War is uniquely vulnerable to predation due to the fact that rather than having a bell to propel itself through the water, instead the Man-O-War has a balloon, making them very easy to detect and attack from above, where many seabirds hunt. In addition, any damage to the balloon could easily cause it to deflate, sending the Man-O-War straight to the depths for an instant game over, which negates the advantage most jellyfish have of being able to regenerate from minor to moderate damage.
Dang it! Sea turtles are like the biggest enemy of jellyfish, apparently. Every time a jellyfish is getting messed up, except for this time, a sea turtle is involved. I bet a sea turtle put them there.
Lastly, the Man-O-War seems to be uniquely vulnerable to getting beached during severe storms. Likely also due to their positioning on the surface of the water, where they get beaten around by the waves and the wind. Still, not something you want to be trading hits with if you're a fish. In C tier, we have the Lion's Mane. This is the largest jellyfish build in the game, sporting a massive HP stat and tentacles that can reach lengths of 120 feet, longer than the blue whale end to end. Giant as it may be, its power stat is still below average, as its venom still isn't really enough to take down anything much larger than a minnow. You would think a bigger jellyfish would go after bigger prey, but similar to the whale, it uses its large size to hit a larger area with its attacks, with the hope of getting frequent multi-kills. Its large size makes it very difficult to kill, simply by nature of it being able to literally survive half of itself being eaten. And there isn't much out there that would need to eat more than half. Still, with its stings being fairly weak, they aren't really threatening enough to merit placement in the higher tiers.
This has so much potential. This build has so much potential to be incredible. Like, you had all the size, the length. Like, this one could have been one of the GOATs. It could have been an A tier, but it's just not strong enough.
Things being fairly weak, they aren't really threatening enough to merit placement in the higher tiers. Moving on up to B tier, we have the Anemone. Similar to coral, anemones are closely related to jellyfish, but opt for a sedentary playstyle rather than a free-roaming one. Unlike coral, though, anemones protect themselves using powerful venomous stingers rather than a hard calcified exoskeleton. Rather than filter feeding on plankton like corals do, they also use this venom to catch and kill prey.
Nice.
Many of them possess extremely powerful venom, enough to cause organ failure even in larger builds like humans. Now, normally being completely immobile is a huge vulnerability, However, the reason I rank anemones so high in spite of this weakness is that anemones are some of the best team combo builds in the entire game, forming excellent team comps with both clownfish and crabs.
Oh,
in the case of the
wow.
clownfish, the anemone and the clownfish cover each other's weaknesses, deterring the predators that the other is vulnerable to. Similar to jellyfish, anemones are vulnerable to sea turtles, as they are resistant to their venom. Clownfish valiantly fight for their teammate, even against those sea turtles which are gargantuan by comparison.
Yo, what? Clownfish fight back? What is happening right now? I didn't know this. I'm losing it. So you mean to tell me, like, Nemo's dad could have been like headbutting those like hippie turtles in that movie? This is crazy to me. That looks like the freaking Dora fish?
Valiantly
right
fight for their teammates, even against those sea turtles which are gargantuan by comparison. And in return, predatory fish that would love to score an easy kill on a small, vulnerable fish need to tank a mouthful of nematocysts to even have a chance at attacking a clownfish.
Ooh.
And in the crab's case, rather than fighting off turtles, the crab will actually attach the anemone to itself, gaining venom damage on its own attacks.
Yo, what? This is
have a chance.
These are like combo
kill on a
This thing is forming over the
small,
fish,
vulnerable fish,
and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just a little
nematocysts
fish right here. Let me get you.
have a chance
Oh,
at attacking
shocked you. You don't even want
clownfish.
this. You
And
don't want this. And look at this. This is like a full fusion technique. They hit the fusion on this one. It became one. This is like Gogeta right here, Vegito, if you will. Bruh, this is incredible.
Crab's case, rather than fighting off turtles, the crab will actually attach the anemone to itself, gaining venom damage on its own attacks in exchange for granting the anemone its mobility back. So, while probably only low to mid-tier on its own, the combo potential of this build makes it an optimal choice in many scenarios.
This thing is A tier for real, for real. In my opinion, this one actually should get bumped up because this one is like a mech suit that you can actually be friends with. You know, it's like if you ever watch Shaman King, this is like one of the spirits that you actually get to like form a bond with, and then y'all can like fuse and stuff. This is like when Digimon started fusing with actual humans, and you know, it's insane. This is insane work. This actually might be the one I mess with the most right here. This might be my guy right here. I don't know.
And bumps it up to B tier. And finally, jumping all the way up to S tier, we have the box.
No A tiers at all, guys. All right, if this is the last one, I want you guys to comment down below which one did you relate to the most. Me personally, it was the comb jelly and the amino. That's what I'm going with. We're gonna if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments.
Jelly. When it comes to overpowered venom, there is quite literally not a single character in the game that has the box jelly beat. Its neurotoxic venom is extremely deadly, rapidly paralyzing the victim, quickly leading to suffocation and cardiac arrest. In addition to having the highest damage of any jellyfish, box jellies also have the highest stealth stat. While many jellyfish sport a wide range of translucent colors like red and blue, box jellyfish are almost completely transparent, as close to invisible as possible. In addition, because they sport fewer tentacles and therefore experience less hydrodynamic drag, and because of their unique bell shape which allows them to jet through the water, box jellyfish have the highest...
Look how he's pumping through the water. Like, I know they don't have brains, but this one's a smart guy right here.
Mobility stat of any jelly. This makes them incredibly difficult to detect and avoid as they zoom through coastal waters, leading many players to simply avoid the territory entirely rather than risk potential encounters. The hallmark of a high-tier build.
Yeah.
And as if
you making humans stay away from the water, bro, you actually pretty tough. You know, it's like box jellyfish and sharks, apparently. Anything else is like, bro, we are still getting in that water. Maybe even some whales or something, but honestly, whales don't even really mess with people like that. You know, it's like dolphins in the water. People are probably going to go in the water when they see some dolphins in there. You know, that's because dolphins have tricked us into believing that they're not maniacs of the ocean, but they are. So, who knows?
If all of that wasn't cracked enough, box jellyfish are unique in that they're the only jellyfish which have eyes, allowing them to detect danger.
Whoa, they can see? Hold on now. Let me see those eyes.
Jellyfish are unique in that they're the
Look at those eyes. Look at that little guy right there. That's hilarious.
the only jellyfish which have eyes, allowing them to detect danger and avoid obstacles. This enables them to thrive in less open areas where prey like to hide, such as kelp forests or mangrove swamps. Coupled with their higher mobility stat, this actually enables the box jellyfish to actively pursue prey rather than simply drifting with the current and hoping to catch something. With the exception of tankiness, rather than simply
does he even know? Does he even know how screwed he is in life right now? Does he know what he just got himself into? Like, seriously, this guy, like, this fish has no clue what's happening. This one does have a brain, and this one doesn't. Yet this one, the one without a brain, has a fish in his stomach about to be donezo, gone for. No more fish. But this fish is like, oh, it's just swimming. Yeah, I'm chill. This is a pretty chill place to be. Where is this place? Starting to feel a little weird in here. The air's different. The water's different, I feel like I'm heating up a little bit. My skin feels itchy or something. Yeah, bro, it's over for you. Good luck. Good luck, Charlie. You are in danger.
Drifting with the current and hoping to catch something. With the exception of tankiness and tentacle attack range, box jellyfish are strictly superior to all other jellies, which is why they're such an outlier on the tier list. I also wanted to highlight a unique member of the box jelly faction, the Irukandji. The Irukandji is a dwarf variant of the box jelly, maxing out at only an inch or two long, yet also sports the same incredibly potent toxin and all of the other special traits that the box jelly possesses, plus one additional trait, bell stingers. Most jellyfish have a pretty massive weak point, their bell. It can be attacked safely without the risk of being stung, so long as the attacker avoids the tentacles. The Irukandji simply does not have this weakness, as every millimeter of its surface is covered in the same deadly stingers. As a result, even accidentally bumping into the Irukandji can result in an instant game over, which has a lot of players worried given how much more popular this build has become lately.
Yeah, hold on, this might be S tier right here, the Irukandji. It's small but deadly.
This is obviously a super risky playstyle though, as the Irukandji itself has the lowest HP stat of any build I've ever covered on this channel. Even just swimming into an obstacle is damaging enough to kill an Irukandji, so they need to play extremely carefully and can't take advantage. Enough to kill an Irukandji, so they need to play.
Bro, did you know that was gonna kill that jellyfish and you did it anyway? Bro, what is happening in this video? Where are the jellyfish rights and people out there? We need your help. The jellyfish are getting manhandled. This dude knew that jellyfish was going to get hurt just by it hitting its hand. What did he do? He put his freaking hand out there. Bro, am I tripping right now? Let me know if I'm like, if it's just me. These jellyfish deserve more, bro.
Play extremely carefully and can't take advantage of the obstacle-heavy environments that the other box jellies can. So that's the jellyfish tier list. Generally, I rate most of them low to mid-tier, with the exception of the truly formidable outlier of the box jelly. Before we wrap up, I do want to cover some counterplay options.
Okay.
I mentioned it a few times in the video,
Obviously,
but sea turtles have a flat-out unlosable matchup against jellyfish, being completely immune to their venom, and so they are able to safely attack and digest them. But another lesser-known but even more effective counter to jellyfish is the sea slug. Not only are they immune to the venom, but they can actually absorb the stingers and convert them into their own defensive weapons, basically giving them all the deadly benefits of the jellyfish without the drawback of being basically brainless. I expect both of these builds to become a lot more popular as jellyfish numbers continue to increase. So if you're looking to score some easy wins, I recommend learning the strategies of both of these excellent builds.
Yeah, sea slug might be the prettiest option, but I think the sea turtle is the best overall option because you get defense against other creatures as well. Like, the sea slug, I'm sure there's other animals out there that eat sea slugs, and even if they don't, even if they don't survive, let's say they just bite a sea slug and die instantly, the sea slug's also gone. So it's like, at least with the turtle, like a sea turtle, you get a chance, to eat and live and, be a cool, chill turtle. It's all cool.
I hope to do a sea slug video soon, so be on the lookout for that, and be sure to subscribe so you don't
Yeah,
miss
I
it
like
when it
these little
drops.
subscribe
Speaking
and
of not missing
notification
important
button.
video releases, I'd like to remind all my viewers that the best way to watch my content is with Nebula, the sponsor of this video.
Hey.
It's best for you because you'll get access to all my videos, as well as
Yes.
videos from hundreds.
You'll also get to support other creators, guys. You know how much I love advertisements, and I get to do a promo myself. So, Nebula, why should you get Nebula? Well, obviously, you like to learn. You like to learn, but you also like to be entertained. And guess where all the best educational content from YouTube has formulated together? A bunch of those creators got together and made their own site that specializes in entertaining educational content. That is Nebula, and this is what it's going to be. You're going to get access to Nebula with all of TierZoo's videos that some of them, they won't even be on YouTube. Some of them are versions of the YouTube version that you didn't see. It's got additional content, and then there's more things. He has other series in here as well, I believe.
I want to make sure this channel
Look
looks
at
the
this.
absolute best that it can.
It looks the best it can. It's got look at these other creators here. Look at their content down below. It's all incredible content. Some of it you'll see like weeks later on YouTube. Some of it you may never see on YouTube. And it's exclusively here. And you'll be able to get that item. You'll be able to watch that content. You'll be able to see it all, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be seeing people like TierZoo, Thomas Flight, Film Joy, watch the Jet Lag series, all the fun
cheaper,
stuff, guys.
including one we haven't
and you'll
talked
get
about
it
in ads
cheaper.
before. There are
Yeah,
two main
you
ways.
heard them.
First, you may
How
remember a
much
while
is
back that
Nebula?
I promoted a bundle
And
subscription
Curiosity
service containing
Stream.
both
Have you guys even heard of Curiosity Stream, where you get the more educational content that's in a different form?
Curiosity Stream
Come on,
and
guys.
Nebula. Many of you signed up for that in order to support me,
Look at
and I
this.
appreciate that. But unfortunately,
this.
that arrangement has ended.
Look-
Luckily, Nebula now
The arrangement ended, but he's got something new going on, guys. Just trust him. Just
updated the
trust
pricing.
him.
So you can still
You
get
know,
Nebula for the same
You'll
crazy low
still
price.
get Nebula.
only
Look at this. $2.50 a month, ladies and gentlemen. That's 40% off a yearly plan with this link right here. All you got to do is click on that link. Let me get out the way. Click on that link right there. Pause the video. Link it up. Click it up. Hit the link, people. Yeah, it's really cheap. Go ahead and grab that. You're 40% off. At this point, honestly, you can't afford not to get it. It's almost like you're losing money if you don't purchase this item that does actually cost money. But then you'll save. You think of the money you'll save.
$250 a month. These are a one-time
this.
purchase that grants
All
you
these
permanent
things.
access to the subscription.
For $300, you just get a lifetime subscription. Never pay one-time fee. $300, you get it for a lifetime. That is actually a really good deal when you put it all together. So for the price of like less than 3 years, you're going to get a full lifetime. For the lifetime of this whole program, this service, you will be a bona fide member. You really can't beat that deal. $100 is one thing. $200, you pay like that much in like a year. For $300, literally forever, your children, your grandchildren, y'all all be watching this as long as this service stays available.
This may
Come on,
seem
ladies and
costly,
gentlemen.
but believe me,
It's really not that costly, bro. Like when you really think about the cost of it and like everything else in the long run, great Christmas gift right here, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible Christmas gift. If somebody wanted to send me this Christmas gift, hey, I would be happy about it. All my links are in the, the channel, the description, look me up, feel free. But, I'm not picky over here. You could just give me a 1-year subscription. I'd be.
I can think of at least a half dozen streaming services that
I'm
I desperately
joking,
wish
guys.
offered this sort of deal.
Yes,
Especially with
this
how
is
many
an incredible
subscriptions
deal,
have been
honestly.
raising their prices lately. The lifetime membership also funds big budget original projects much more
Hey.
directly. So if you'd like to see me really shoot for the moon,
Look at these guys. Look at all these people. You'll be supporting all of them. I love this guy's content. But, I'm sure all these people make incredible
with some
content.
big projects, this is absolutely your best option. I would not expect these sorts of deals to be around much longer, especially the lifetime membership one. So if
Lifetime
you're
membership
interested,
is a great
you can
deal.
either scan the QR
Guys, Christmas is coming up. Speaking of, my birthday is December 21st, ladies and gentlemen. I am trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark before that time. So if you have made it this far into the video, you probably enjoy my content and my rambles. So please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with somebody else you may know who may enjoy my content, and force them to subscribe. Just be like, yo, you're gonna subscribe to this guy. He's so freaking funny. You're just gonna love everything he says. So just subscribe right now. Please. Say please, though, and thank yous.
QR code on screen, head to nebula.tv/TierZoo, or click the link in the description of this video.
Yay.
Thanks for watching, and as always, good luck out there.
Yay. Guys, incredible video by TierZoo. Again, I'm still not saying that the box jellyfish wasn't even my favorite personally. I'm still going with the what do they call the aminos, and then the F tier jellyfish. I don't know. Those are the two that really connected with me personally the most. I really like that one. But yeah, make sure you comment down below which jellyfish you related to the most. And again, don't just go box jellyfish just because it's the only one with eyes, and it can actually chase its prey and isn't like the biggest thing out. Just don't immediately go for that. Maybe you'll go for the little small one, that was kind of similar, except again it died by touching another thing, like just running into a wall, which probably doesn't happen a lot in the ocean, but I imagine you do have a chance of running into stuff in the ocean, which if just doing that, it does feel like a failsafe. So comment down below your favorite. Also, let's respect jellyfish a little bit more. Let's not just blow bubbles and twirl them all around just because it looks funny to us. I get it; it does look funny. It is hilarious. I laughed on the inside, but then I immediately thought about the jellyfish, and I was like, whoa. You know what? From the jellyfish perspective, probably not that funny. Probably not hilarious at all. So, yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you have made it this far in, I want to say thank you. As always, I love you. Bye.